Hey everyone. First off, I apologize for looking a little rough. My skin is deciding to hate me today. Um, so hopefully that's not too distracting. Um, this is actually 15 days post op right now as I'm recording this, but just wanted to give you a report on what happened yesterday on day 14, 2 weeks post op, and just kind of the general state of things. This is going to be a simpler video in that respect. I'm just kind of giving an update. Um, Things continue to improve. Last night I slept better than I think a few of the nights before in terms of not having too much burning and pain in my knee. That has been an ongoing issue. Uh, right around where the incision was, as well as a little deeper and kind of radiating out from that, there has been this kind of dull ache and this burning that I was expecting, and it happens whenever I put weight on the leg when gravity kind of pulls the blood down and all that. And I've talked about that before. But at night, or at the end of the day, that pain tends to flare up, regardless of the position that I'm in. So I think maybe it just has to do with throughout the day I've been disturbing the tissue or whatever. A lot of blood has been flowing through there, and things are just irritated. Maybe that's what's going on. But at any rate, yesterday wasn't as bad. It seems like it's kind of tapering off, which could be that, well, after getting the stitches out, there's a little less disturbance there, and I'm continuing to exercise and get some of the swelling out of that area, all of that. So we're going to see how that progresses. My updates will probably not be daily. They've been almost daily so far. But in the future, I'm probably going to slow them down a little bit or make them a little less frequent. Um, just so it's more about like the milestones or just every so often periodically giving an update on where things are. And also, it can be kind of time consuming to put videos up. I have like no video editing skills or equipment or good software or anything like that. And so it's a bit of a process, just going through things. And I'm by myself. I'm a one man operation, so I don't have help with that. Speaking of not having help, uh, I don't know just yet if I'm going to put anything on the end of this from physical therapy. I did have a physical therapy session yesterday, which went really well. Um, we practiced stepping over things for the first time, so bending my knee enough so that I can step over an obstacle. It's very difficult when my foot's behind me, um, because the thigh is behind me as well, so I can't pick my thigh up and get more height on my knee that way. Um, the way I can whenever I'm moving my foot forward when my the leg I'm stepping with, how do I put this? When the surgical leg is already in front of me. When your foot's already in front of you, you can flex your hip and then lift your knee through space, just that way. And then you can flex your knee or bend your knee to get even more height. So it's easier. When your leg's behind you, hip flexion isn't really giving you that height advantage. So it's like all knee bend to get your foot up off the ground and get it to clear an obstacle. So if there's an obstacle that's right under you or even a little behind you, you have some difficulty there. So anyway, I was practicing that. Uh, that's going to be a process. We're slowly doing a little bit more active knee flexion kind of exercise, not specifically doing hamstring curl stuff, but this kind of thing where I'm flexing my knee as I'm walking and all, so I can get over an obstacle and whatnot. Uh, I have been told by my physical therapist to uh, keep my brace on when I'm out of the house and lock it actually, even though I've been walking around without it locked. She's pushing for more caution and also having my crutch nearby. So even as I'm continuing to get stronger and I think I can tolerate certain things, the approach on the therapy side has been don't just do what you think you can tolerate pain wise because you have all these other, uh, perturbations or, unpredictable kind of disturbances you might be exposed to. And that's a fair point. That is a fair point. So I'm trying to do better with that. I was out today. I went to the gym. By the way, I've been back now a couple of times at the gym. Upper body stuff. But getting back into a routine there is definitely helping. Distracting me also just from the knee pain because I'm sore in other places now. Uh, but it's tricky getting around, adjusting machines and moving weights around and stuff like that when I have a crutch. But I'm getting through what I can, and of course, I'm choosing exercises and machines and placements that make a little bit more sense, not running back and forth all over the gym. Um, but while I was there, I had kept my knee in a brace and I kept it locked, um, and just to add a little extra stability there. And I used a crutch as well. So we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be a couple more weeks, and then the training wheels there. Not to be insulting about it, but that extra fixation will slowly kind of come away. I think next week, or if not next week, then the following week, I'm gonna start stuff on the bike. So trying to do a little bit of motion with my leg on a bike, and I think that's probably gonna hurt, but also lead to a lot of progress there. And it'll be nice when I can eventually do enough that I can get some cardio that way instead of just having to do upper body stuff or one leg stuff or whatever. So I'm looking forward to that. I will update on that. Um, what else? The swelling is continuing to go down. Things are looking pretty good. Maybe the next video I do, I'll have it unwrapped. I have it wrapped up right now because I'm about to go out the door, and it just take too long to undo it and all. But the surgical site's looking good. The the swelling is continuing to improve. The color is improving. Um, and the pain is very tolerable. I do still have a large patch, maybe that big, on the side of my knee, on the outside, so it's the left side of my left knee. That's numb, completely numb. It feels like I got a shot of lidocaine there, and the thinking is that that's something that's just affected by. And I covered this yesterday, or in yesterday's video, with my doctor. He spoke briefly to it. Um, that it's something that happens with the procedure. There's an interference there, or disturbance of the sensation, and that's a common thing that we experience. Over time, they expect it to improve, so I should get that sensation back, but it may take a while. So we'll see. Good thing is, I think it's probably keeping it from hurting quite as much right along the incision line. But we'll see that if that improves, that's probably going to be on the order of several months, maybe a year or more before that sensation comes back. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's the update for now. Um, Hopefully you got something out of it, but that's where I am at 2 weeks. So 2 weeks post-op, I can walk. I'm getting in and out of the house. Of course, I have the stairs that I'm going up and down, sometimes a few times a day now. Um, I'm under orders from my physical therapist to use a lot more stability than maybe I technically need, just to be on the safe side of things. We're starting to progress to practicing with walking and bending the knee and getting a little bit more of my normal gait cycle back when I'm in physical therapy. The surgical site itself looks good. Oh, one other thing. I've noticed a little bit of popping in the joint, but not like it's super unstable and it's like things are snapping out of place or ripping. More like, sometimes a joint just kind of pops. It just adjusts. You get a little gas cavitation in there. And my knees have done that for years. A lot of my joints make noise. And this is kind of like a normal thing, which seems to happen whenever if I have an injury to a joint and there's swelling. As the swelling goes down, that it starts happening again. So it's could be just a clue that things are kind of getting back to normal and fluids are shifting around in the knee a little bit more than they were before because there's a little less pressure in there holding everything in place. But we're gonna see how that goes. I'm not feeling any weird pains or any weird instability, no sharp stabbing pains, no burning, no sign of infection, nothing like that. Anyway, things are going well, and I will update more in the future. Take care.